Greetings, everybody, and I hope you are fine. Well, so today we are going to talk about Brics, what it is all about. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe, click the bell to get notified when I go live, and share the video. Hit the bell and share the video. You're okay, and I hope you are fine. It's a great day today. Subscribe, let us learn about Brics, how Brics is affecting us, the new powers around the world, and so greetings, everybody. Once again, welcome to today's live video. I will vid myself once more again for the second time. I hope you're okay. Hope you're fine. It is a lovely Friday. It's just about 2 p.m. and I've been reading about Brics. I've heard about it. It's been a while, but now it seems like it is taking shape and power. It is growing. Things are happening at a faster pace than anticipated. I think it's time to give this more attention, let people know, so people might know what is happening around the world or in their backyard. You come in one of these countries, yet you don't know. I know we are told to watch most of the mainstream, which I'm not against, but another big power is coming, and it's time to look at our other options. Because when one door closes, another door is opening in life. So, question is, which door are you looking at? The closed door or the open door? I know we are comfortable in our zones, but I know I'm comfortable as well. But when one door shuts, maybe it's time to look at the open door. Instead of fighting to stay where we are because we're comfortable, we know the language, we know the people, we know the system, so we don't want to move. But life is about change. So things change, and those who get left behind are those who don't want to change. So you're going to have the growth mindset. Let go of what you knew and move on to the next part. So if you've been watching the news and what's happening around the world, well, you would say most of it could be that Brics is picking up at a vast speed, isn't it? We have a lot of wars, a lot of happenings, we have a lot of politics, but you can tell why some of these events are happening. And one reason is because of BRICS. We talked about it yesterday in our video, but today we're going to have some live feed and more evidence which you can read online. You can check for yourself. So Brics, B-R-I-C-S. So Brics is an acronym for 5 leading emerging economies. That is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So the first 4 were initially grouped as BRIC. Yeah, so for those who don't know, Russia's president is President Vladimir Putin. We got Brazil, the president is Lula da Silva. China's president is Xi Jinping. And we have India's prime minister is Narendra Modi. So African president, I am not too sure who that is. So African president is Cyril Ramaphosa. Yes, so the president of South Africa is Cyril Ramaphosa. So the question is, what is Brics and its purpose? For those who have not heard about it, or you have heard it faintly and you thought, yeah, it's the beginning, yeah, right, I'm okay, it's not going to be that big, but now things are picking up. So if you type Brics in Google, come up with a lot of questions or articles about it. So if you look at the first one, what is Brics and its purpose? We shall use Wikipedia and other articles on the net. So the Brics mechanism aims to promote peace, security, development, and cooperation. So it's from the powerful grouping of the world's leading emerging market economies. And the aim is to promote peace, security, development, and cooperation. So the big five are Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. But apparently there are others who want to join the party. Why not? So which country wants to join BRICS? According to this article on tvbrics.com, the foreign minister said the countries wishing to become part of BRICS and the SCO have an important role to play in the regions. Among them are Turkey, Mexico, Indonesia, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt, and a number of other African countries. My goodness me. So there are 20 countries wishing to become part of BRICS. Let us look at this article. TV Brics International Media Network. We'll start from the top to go through it. The number of states that are planning to join BRICS and Shanghai Cooperation Organization (SCO) increased significantly last year. About 20 countries want to join. This was stated by Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, who opened on Monday, 27 February, a meeting with the heads of territorial bodies, representatives of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the Russian regions. So we did already quote that. So over the last couple of years, the number of countries that want to join BRICS and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization has increased rapidly. There are already about 24 of them. So that's it's number 12, so it should be around 24, isn't it? So that means there are more countries who are going to join that. So that's actually going to get on tvbrics.com. I will post the link in the comment section of the video. So the number of countries there, that is tvbrics.com. But going back to our search on Google, there's a couple of videos we can see and watch about it. So why I should pay attention is because apparently the BRICS has passed the G7 in terms of economic value and how much they're producing. We had the G7, but now apparently them in total, the BRICS has the economic value which they produce has surpassed the G7. So with a shift in power now, where most people now are, or countries are getting rid of the dollar and using the yuan as a new currency. That's a big step for China, coming from way far. So according to DW.com, BRICS nations offer alternative to West. There's a new world order. BRICS nations offer alternative to West. So predictions about the BRICS countries as the fastest growing economies haven't quite panned out. Instead, the alliance is now offering a diplomatic forum and development financing outside of the Western mainstream. So you can read on the article, but G7 is an informal forum of heads of states of the world's most advanced economies. It was founded in 1975. Germany, France, United Kingdom, Italy, Japan, Canada, and the US are members, as is the EU. So BRICS now is challenging the World Bank model. So in 2014, with $50 billion in seed money, the BRICS nations launched a new development bank as an alternative to the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. In addition, they created a liquidity mechanism called the contingent reserve arrangements to support members struggling with payments. This guy is beautiful. I'm happy about the progress. I know the IMF have always had its place to play, but most people had many debts from many countries who were suffering. So these offers were not only attractive to the BRICS nations themselves, but also to many other developing and emerging economies that had had painful experiences with the IMF's structural adjustment programs and austerity measures. This is why many countries said they might be interested in joining the BRICS group. Yes, I did hear about many countries having painful experiences with the IMF so far, but that's the new development bank, which is based in Shanghai, I believe. So that is it. Yes, so the new development bank. So this arrangement was signed into treaty at the 2014 BRICS summit in Brazil. Yeah, it's based in, so the new development bank, which NDB, is based in Shanghai, and is equal distribution of shares between the shareholders of the NDB. So each country has 20%. So they've been active since 2015. So the bank's primary focus of lending will be infrastructure projects with authorized lending of up to 34 billion annually. South Africa will be the African headquarters of the bank, named the new Development Bank Africa Regional Center. The bank will have starting capital of 50 billion, with wealth increased to 100 billion over time. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa will contribute 10 billion each to bring the total to 50 billion. It has so far 53 projects underway worth around 15 billion. So recently, Bangladesh, Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, and Uruguay were added as new members of BRICS' new development bank. This is going to be big. There's a lot more to read about. So there is the BRICS CRA, which is the BRICS Contingent Reserve Arrangement. It's a framework for providing protection against global liquidity pressures. This includes currency issues where members' national currencies are being adversely affected by global financial pressures. There's much more here, but if you check up, where am I? Yeah, so there's a worldwide interest in the BRICS group, which is huge, according to South African Foreign Minister Naledi Pandor. They said they have 12 letters from interested countries on their desk. Saudi Arabia is one, UAE, Egypt, Algeria, Argentina, as well as Mexico and Nigeria. So if you check the economic growth in the BRICS countries, the development and forecast of gross domestic product, GDP, in trillions of dollars. So by 2027, you see they're going to be up, China's going to be 25 trillion worth of dollars by 2027 from this deal. Then India, Brazil, you have Russia, and South Africa as well. So once they've shaped the criteria for lending, then we'll make the decision, she said, noting that the topic will be placed on the agenda for the upcoming August summit in South Africa. So as China's gross domestic product grew from 6 trillion in 2010 to nearly 18 trillion in 2021, the economies in Brazil, South Africa, and Russia stagnated. India's GDP grew from 1.7 trillion to 3.1 trillion, but was outpaced by China's growth. So there's no sanctions against Russia as well. So apparently, since the war in Russia, in Ukraine, the BRICS countries have only distanced themselves farther from the so-called West. So neither India, Brazil, South Africa, or China are taking part in sanctions against Russia. This has become increasingly clear with near historic levels of trade between India and Russia, or in Brazil's dependence on Russian fertilizer. There's much more to the story. I'll post a link in there. So there's a lot more you are going to hear. So if you live in one of these countries, or your country is applying for BRICS, so be ready to exchange currencies, new development bank. What I like is the new development bank and the policies about helping the member states with 30 billion annually. Hopefully it will be a better contract than the ones they previously had. Look at a few images. So this is the Brics. You can see the 5 presidents. You can see it's only, most of them are in, to be honest, most of them are, it's only Brazil which is far out on South Africa. In Africa, but most of it's China, India, and Russia in one area of the earth, the total east side of the earth. So the east, coming from the east, it's only Brazil in the west and South Africa in Africa. But you can see from the map that they are starting from the east for, this was before South Africa joined actually. Way before South Africa joined. Look at the map, you'll see that it's all beginning in the east. Let's get a better map, with the updated map here. So this shows where the power is moving from the west all the way to the east. As you can see, the west is United States, we got Greenland, we got Europe, England where we are, Australia. But if you look at the Brics, you can see from the east side is Russia, China, India, and if others join, we have Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, Egypt joining. So we'll have most of the Middle East countries will be soon be part of it. And if other African countries join as well, we have Nigeria who's interested, Egypt as well. So it looks like we might have to change the name from Brics to something else. So I'm gonna give it a few years and see, or the updates within a few months to see who has joined and what are the updates. If you look at this, the Brics countries and the leaders, $16.6 trillion. This is a bit about it and what countries are part of it. I just want a clear picture on that. They see the cracks in the brick. It hit a wall, but as always, every country hits a wall. I'm sure there are always walls, but you can go around the wall. You can build a path around the wall and go around it. We all hit bricks at some points. So this is image talking about the walls that hit, but everyone hits a wall. So we'll see, given a few months, see how they will progress. We're talking about how will the Brics lead the global economy, China, US focus. As you can see here, that is a short graphic image. So in 2019, there's still 75 countries. I want to see the updated version of the new members of Brics now. It shows you 2019. In Cora, can the Brics countries break the US dollar? So someone says here, is it the Brics nations are intent on taking down the US dollar as a global currency? Does this worry you? Is it inevitably going to happen? What would the fallout be if they succeed? What will be the implications be for the US dollar if Brics and ASEAN move towards a new reserve currency? Is it time to kill the US dollar and bring a new exchange currency, especially the Brics? Is the Brics a threat to the US dollar? So these are questions and more people asking on Quora. If you're on Quora, you could get in and join the discussion. So these are good questions. What if the dollar is being replaced? Apparently the yuan, people now using the yuan, the Chinese yuan to replace the dollar. So bit by bit, the Chinese yuan is picking up. So let's see if you can find yuan versus dollar. Yuan versus dollar. Let's look at the forecast. So predictions and US dollars to Chinese yuan exchange rate forecast from marketing pricing sources, investment banks, and technical analysis. In 1 month, the US dollar struck Chinese yuan Exchange rate could be at least 6.8 according to market pricing as that. So that's not what we're looking for. But if you look at the data, you can find the Chinese yuan data. So these are all the government capital forex data. So check out links here if you want to find more about the yuan. Some question is it a good time to buy yuan? The answer is yes, the yuan is strong and there are no signs of weakness in sight. The American dollar is having issues trying to stay afloat and the Chinese are capitalizing, as they always have. Some say yes, it's a good time to buy the yuan. What is the long-term focus for yuan? We'll expect the US dollar and the Chinese yuan to be within 7 to 7.2 range in a few months, and values above 8 are not unthinkable in 2023 or 24. So these are questions. I'm not think answers, but these are people asking on in Google. The yuan spot rate closed at 6.740 to the US dollar on Wednesday, up 2,114 points from 6.95 at end 2002, getting nearly 3% in value against the greenback. So the yuan is gaining value against the US dollar, appreciating nearly 3% in January. That's according to Global Times page. Look at the Global Times page, the yuan is picking up pace. Yuan gains value against the US dollar, appreciating nearly 3% in January alone. In January, the spot rate of the yuan, just this one, rose to an intraday high of 6.69 against the dollar, an 8.6% appreciation from the low reached in November 2022. So the recent appreciation of the yuan is mainly due to the rebound of the Chinese economy and the depreciation of the US dollar. So that is a bit about the yuan dollar and what is its power, picking up 3% in January against the US dollar. So that, I think that might be the main currency for the Brics, because China is the top performing country in Brics, and the NDB, the bank, is in Shanghai, so I'm guessing the yuan will be the main currency. I've heard of, let's see, which countries? I think so. Apparently some countries are switching to the yuan. It's called the renminbi yuan. Okay, I'm not looking at not yet, so maybe it's not. Let's see, the most traded currency. Is it still the US for now? So most traded currency, yeah, this is the one. So it's still the US dollar, euro, Japanese, pound sterling, Australian dollar. So it's still from the G7, are the ones who are still the most traded currencies. With the US dollar, the euro, Japanese yen, British pound, the Australian, but the yuan is not yet there. Let's see, points of the world. So according to the top 25 most traded currencies, so the Chinese yuan is number 8. Still number 8. Don't know when this was. So number 8, we try now. Indian rupee number 17, Russian ruble number 18. So we have 17, 18, 19 are all Brazilian real, are all Brics. And South African, oh, well, 17, 18, 19, 20 are all Brics. Oh, look at that. So they're all together. 17, 18, 19, 20 are all Brics, and with China being number 8. So look at that. I missed that. But yeah, so the Brics currencies are being traded Number 8 is China, and then 17, 18, 19, 20 are all the remaining countries of the Brics organization. That is fantastic. That is good news. We have against when you say that people rise, people change. So they're all together there. You can check, there are more photos about the Brics if you look it up on Google. This is more of branding and that. But look at the latest news about Brics. So Brazil's President Lula arrives in China for state visit. So Lula backs Brics currency to replace dollar in foreign trade. Brazil's president backs calls for Brics nations to use their own currency. Brazilian president visits National Development Bank in Hawaii. Am I correct? I think I butchered it. Hawaii, right? In Shanghai, underscores operation, etc., etc., etc. So experts pour cold water on Tunisia's Brics bid as country rejects IMF. So Tunisia says no thanks IMF, I want to go with Brics. It says no thank you, I want to go with Brics 2 days ago. Brics currency versus US dollar. Is the end of dollar dominance near? Statista, the rise and fall of Brics electricity emissions. The Daily Howdy says middle class to be crushed as Brics nations move away from US dollar, says Bitcoin bull Robert Kiyosaki. South Africa says Putin arrest warrant, spanner in the works ahead of Brics summit. BitcoinNews.com, Brics nations push to expand global influence to counter the West's destructive actions. Here we got Egypt's membership of Brics, opportunities and prospects. The rise of the South, can Brics weaken the dominance of the World Bank and IMF? Led by China, India, the 5 Brics nations now contribute more to world GDP than industrialized G7. So that is a bit about it. I'll stop right there, but that is a lot to read about. So it's time to look into Brics, and if you're an investor, if you live in these countries, trying to make an informed decision. So the world, led by China, the Brics nations now contribute more than the G7 where most of us are. So I think the power is shifting at a great rate. That's why I see so many companies are moving out of America and here, moving to the east or to Africa as well, because they saw it coming and they changed, they grew, they are flexible. But those who are not flexible are the ones who left behind, saying, oh, you know. So think about it, read through and make your own decision and see what you know, what you see, where you're investing, where to move to, where to study, which language you should learn. I myself going to learn a bit of Chinese. Mandarin and Cantonese is important. So yes, I do speak English, but I'm also going to learn Mandarin. I would like to learn a bit more. Probably a bit of Hindu as well, you know. Times are changing, so I've got to learn a lot more about the new system coming ahead. You know, so check it out and let me know what you think. If you, leave your comments below. And let me know what you think on the Brics situation. So for those who are using the dollar and your money is in the US banks, somebody was saying that you should remove your money out of the dollar, out of all US banks. As I always say, the money should not be, put your money in assets. But if your money is in the US banks, they say transfer, move it, withdraw your money and put it in other banks. That's what some people are suggesting, experts suggesting, for those who are expert in this in finance. So if you're in America, this is something for you to learn. Maybe it's time people to move, but change. But all in all, this is a bit about Brics. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the video, please subscribe and click the bell so you can get notified when I go live. Apart from that, we shall see you next time, and goodbye.